action creates opportunity, which yields result at a percentage. Even if you take the highest performing action you know how, right, you're going to encounter opportunities that deliver the result you want, right, that deliver a sale, but you're also going to encounter opportunities that deliver poor results, even if you take high performing actions. And the law of large numbers says, right, no matter how small the percent chance this something occur, if you give it forever to occur, it will occur infinitely many times in a row, right? Given infinity, it will occur. But that over the course of large numbers, it will average out, right? Now, when you get the desired result, what happens to you emotionally? Let's go back a little bit. What happens to you emotionally? Huh?
You get that confidence, and then that confidence breeds that new paradigm of success, which gives you the successful results, right?
That's right. You become more confident. It's like the lobster that just won, right? You have that transformation happen in your brain. But when you become confident, you become complacent, right? As serotonin levels go up, dopamine levels go down. Dopamine is the hormone that gives us drive and focus, right? Luckily, the law of large numbers is throwing some bad results your way, right? And what do those bad results do?
Get you focused.
That gets you focused, right? The problem is it makes you afraid and focused at the same time. And when you're afraid and focused at the same time, your fear pushes your focus outward toward external threats, right? And so the part of your brain thinking about your actions, that part is called the cortex. That part shuts off. We're going to talk about that more today. So your awareness is high, right? Awareness, we would call that epinephrine, not dopamine, right? Your awareness is high, your vision is acute, your hearing is better, but your ability to think about what you're doing is worse, right? And so this magic portal opens up into a new world where you have an opportunity to become a new version of you. We talked about Stephen Covey saying in between stimulus and response, there's a space. In that space, you have the power to choose. In that choice lies your freedom and your happiness. You have the power to choose, so why don't you just choose to do the very best thing? Why don't you just choose to take the highest performing action? Why? What gets in the way of that?
Maybe some limiting beliefs that you have.
It all has to do with this combination of fear and focus. It shuts off your cortex. It shuts off the choosing part of your brain, right? Causes you to become reactionary instead of proactive. So you continue, right, working at it, trying to choose, become more afraid, more focused, more afraid, more focused, until the quality and quantity of your action begins to degrade, right? And as the quality of your action degrades, what happens to the result? It gets worse. As the bad results keep coming in, more afraid, more focused, until you substitute focus for complacency. You have to check out as a protection mechanism. You just check out, you're back on the couch ordering pizza, hoping the girl of your dreams shows up. Over time, this creates this downward trend, right? This depressive trend. And that is what we're fighting against. There's a metaphor that is common amongst all humans across the entire swath of humanity. There's a metaphor that exists in our mythology. In the Western civilization, Judeo-Christian civilization, we would talk about Adam, Eve, and the Garden of Eden. And that myth or metaphor or story is simply reflective of this problem in life. Oh, if only we were back in the good old days when there was no weeds and the grapes crushed themselves into wine, right? But tomorrow will be worse than today. And today is worse than yesterday was, right? This downward depressive trend. That's what we're fighting against. And so this is nothing new, right? These ideas are nothing new. None of the ideas I have are anything new. They're just observations and different ways of talking about things that have been talked about for a long time, right? If only we were back in the Garden of Eden when everything was wonderful, right? But today is worse than yesterday, and tomorrow will be worse than today. This is what we're fighting against, right? So we talked about this alternative trend, a breakthrough trend, right? And we revisit here, we say, when the roller coaster is going up, we become confident, but when we become confident, we become complacent. When the roller coaster is going down, we become afraid, but when we become afraid, we become focused. Out of these four words, what do we want more of?
Become confidence.
We want confidence and
Focus.
at the same time, right? We want confidence and focus at the same time. That's the goal. But that's not how our biology works, right? If we want to improve our results over time, instead of have them get worse over time, have them get better over time, right? Where do our results come through, right? Or where do they come from? Breakthrough. This fundamental shift in the quality or quantity of the results that we achieve, right? If we want to improve the results, where do the results come from?
The actions.
Right. So the key here is to focus on our actions, right? The key here is to focus on action 4. Make sure we continue to take action 4. But there's a problem. We can't focus on our actions if we're afraid. So that's the whole conundrum. When we're focused, we're also afraid. So our brain doesn't focus on our actions. When we're confident, we're complacent. So we could focus on our actions, but we don't care enough. Right? That's our biology that we're fighting against. So how do we hack those limitations imposed by our biology, by our ego?